Jay here of Stretford, Paddock. This is the Queen's Park Rangers preview. Ooh. Joining me is my old friend, Joe Smith. How are you doing, brother?
It's my birthday tomorrow.
It is. It's your birthday. At the time of recording, your birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah, and at another time, it's at a different day, isn't it?
It's almost like time moves forward.
It is! Unrelenting march towards nothingness.
Yes, the inevitable, irreversible march towards the end.
But what else is tomorrow? This game.
Hey, something to look forward to, even more so than Joe's 30th.
Not 30th, which is actually, no, we are still looking forward to that, but it's in 2 years and a day.
All right, okay. Even more so than Joe's 28th birthday.
Thank you.
Is the Queen's Park Rangers game. United taking on QPR in the second pre-season friendly of the summer. Joe, looking forward to this. Did the Derby County game, whet your appetite for a bit more pre-season?
It did whet my appetite a little bit. It reminded me what pre-season's all about, which is watching players who ain't going to play for the first team looking pretty good and then never playing again. But I'm sure we're going to see more of that, which I don't mind. That's the whole point of it. I wonder if there's any chance of players playing themselves into not getting loaned or not getting sold, or whether it's all sort of an exercise in fitness and, you know, Ollie's made his mind up on these players. Do you think in the modern era, players really have a chance to change the manager's mind in pre-season? Because in the past, or certainly you're told, and the thinking around it is, prove yourself, you might start the first game of the season. Is that still the case, or do you think these players are basically playing for a better loan?
I mean, Ollie sort of made noises that it could happen, I know, with certain
What were
players.
Those noises?
Yeah, exactly. That was one of them.
And the one was just this. Wasn't it?
See, this is the sort of insightful, analytical debate you get here on Stretford Paddock. Don't forget that. No, it's okay. Yeah, he's made noises like he does. He always says the right sort of thing for the players. Doesn't he? Like, you know, they prove themselves in pre-season.
They're all in my plans.
Yeah, but you have to think, really? Is that the case? Probably not. So, in answer to your question, I would be very surprised if someone does something in pre-season that makes Ollie change his mind on what he already thought about them. Stranger things have happened, you never know. Like you were saying, in the past, you've had players that in pre-season, you know, Chris Eagles in pre-season, Gabriel Obertan, Jordi Cruyff. Amazing.
Yeah. And like you said, what can happen though is maybe, you know, he's got a set way of doing things. But let's say, you know, and again, I hate to say this, but let's say someone has an injury, or, you know, someone has a problem where someone's going, or this happens, or a transfer happens and we don't replace them. You might have a chance of putting yourself ahead of the other guy in pre-season. So if you're Pereira, or if you're Lingard, or you're whoever, you might have a chance of saying, well, let's say Bruno comes back and like dislocates his shoulder or something. I might be starting next season, whereas before I might not have been. So there's a chance to sort of put yourself ahead in the pecking order maybe a little bit.
Now, there is one player who could have put himself ahead in the pecking order, or could have maybe at worst earned himself a better loan move than he was going to get, judging from his first performance against Derby County, was Facundo Pellistri. Yes. Now, a bit of a weird one, because he's almost like the forgotten man already, wasn't he, Pellistri? He came in on a sort of deadline day signing, didn't he, along with Amad Diallo. Diallo was, of the two, the more hyped up. The
more
one
expensive.
More expensive. The one that was a bit younger as well. And people saying, this could be a future star. Pellistri just seemed like someone, it was almost like we don't know, it's worth seeing. It's worth taking a chance on. He might work out, he might not. Obviously, played for under-23s. I think he scored that goal, didn't he, in City. Went on loan, did okay. Didn't do anything where you go, wow, this kid. But against Derby, admittedly not the greatest opposition, but you can only beat what's in front of you. He looked very good, didn't he?
Yeah, he showed a nice sort of touch, good balance, good composure on the ball. The goal was excellent, really well taken. The sort of dummy to send the goalie the wrong way and just takes it past him, really nice, tight control. Because sometimes one-on-one with the goalkeeper, especially, I know it's not an official game, but this is a first-team game.
Yeah,
even if it is a friendly.
They all count.
And this is his first time in this sort of position. A long time to think about it. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. The way he just skins him like it's sort of second nature, almost unconscious, just sort of drift past the goalkeeper, puts it in the back of the net. Really well done. And sort of showed a few things that we hadn't seen from him. Not I didn't think he could do that, but I didn't know he could do that. Do you know what I mean? He's never sort of proven himself to be poor, but we've just not seen anything from him really as far as, watching Manchester United's first team goes. He's not been in with a sniff. So I thought that was really good. Again, other times, his touch, he carried the ball forward well. He gets himself in good positions. Like his running made for the goal, maybe could have been tracked a little bit better, but it was really nice just drifting in from that right-hand side, taking through the centre of the pitch. I thought he looked good, and it's good to see that because, like you said, it may only buy him a slightly better loan move, but if it does buy him a slightly better loan move, that might be because he's better than we thought he was.
Yeah.
So if he is better than we thought he was, that's good for Manchester United because he's got a better chance of improving the first team one day. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's getting a bit of time in the sun because, like you said, he was almost replaced the same day we bought him by Amad Diallo, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Obviously not really, but it was like, well, we've got this lad for 12 million quid and we've got this one for up to 35 million quid. That one's, I'll pay attention to that one then. And then obviously Diallo's played in the first team, scored goals for the first team. He's, not blown everyone away, but certainly impressed when he's played Diallo. So it's nice to see, like you said, the almost forgotten man in Pellistri coming on and actually looking pretty good and getting a goal as well. So, yeah, I'm happy for him and hope he can push on.
It was like one of those as well where, you want him to start thinking like a Manchester United player.
Yeah.
Thinking like, okay, he might not be in the first team plans immediately, but he can play for the first team and do something. Another player who got a goal in that game, obviously, was Tahith Chong. He's a player who, unlike Pellistri, was just revered by a lot of coaching staff and sort of lauded as the next big thing when he was coming through the academy. He was sort of singled out almost, even with that other youngsters, the likes of Angel Gomez and maybe not quite Mason Greenwood, but other players. He was sort of like, he was the one where people actually, this kid's going to be a star. Never quite happened for him when he's come on in the first team. Admittedly, he's only had cameos and stuff. Had a couple of loan moves, Werder Bremen, I think Bruges as well. Bit of a mixed bag with his loan moves, but he's another one who got a goal and at least sort of has that feeling now of, or will know that feeling of playing for the first team and scoring for the first team. So do you think he's another one who can have altered or could have altered, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinking, or do you think he's just destined for more loan moves and a struggle?
I think we're a step down the line with him than where we are with Pellistri.
Fair enough.
I think we're closer to saying, not quite, but closer to a sort of now or never moment with him, where he's a couple of years older. He's had experience in, he played it in the PSG game 2 seasons ago now.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's had loan moves since, some successful, some not. He almost became a bit of a sort of a meme, sort of Instagram, Twitter sensation when he first went to, was it Werder Bremen, and they were putting pictures of him scoring goals in training, scored a couple of goals at the start
He's
of the
another
season.
one who had a good pre-season and a good start to the season, and then it all just went
and then it sort of tailed
horribly
off.
wrong,
And I just think with him, he needs to start proving something in the first team because, as good as he has been for the youth team, some people dispute that based on his numbers, but he was certainly very highly rated, like you said. As good as he's been for those teams, those academy teams, at some point, you're more than just an academy player that did well, so come along with us. You have to prove yourself as worthy and an asset to the first team because that's what you're here for. The academy isn't another team. It is to get you into this team.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to get to that team, you're not going to prove yourself any value to the first team, then at some point you don't stick around. So I think for him, I don't think he'll stay at United this season. I think he'll go on loan, which I think is what's right for him, and hopefully it can be a good loan. We've seen, James Garner have bad loans. We've seen him have a great loan at Forest, a really sort of consistent spell of being one of their best and most important players.
Yep.
He needs that for wherever he goes next. And Birmingham's the one that's been mentioned pretty heavily. Looks like he's probably going to go there. It needs to start paying off at some point. And I'm not, trying to get rid of him by any means. But like I said, he's a step or two further down the line than Pellistri is. But hopefully he can get a bit of confidence from some good performances this pre-season.
100%. With all that being said, then let's have a look at your predicted 11. Is this your predicted or preferred?
Well,
because you do this thing, when you decide on a whim whether this is the team you want to see play or the team you believe will play.
I'll be honest, Jay. With it being pre-season, we all know anything can happen.
Right.
There is no point in doing a predicted because what do we know about any? There's no form. There's no.
Do you know what we should do though?
We
should genuinely we should bring back the predicted 11s and the scoreboard
We'll do
People
that
used
for
to
next
that.
season.
Yeah, when the season starts,
Yeah.
we'll have it. So it's predicted 11, and whoever gets the most right, we have a leaderboard. We used to have that when it's full-time Devils. We'll bring that back because a few people asked about that. But for this, what are you going with?
I've just gone with what I think it'll be plus what I want.
Right.
Just
a bit of a mixture.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, of
Pre-season,
course.
because
I'm not
anything
going to
can
start.
happen.
Let's not be too sort of fussy about your predicted teams for this game.
So I've gone Heaton in goal.
Then
I've gone a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Twanzebe, Mengi and Tellez. We've seen a bit of Tellez in the press this week, so I think he might get a game. Then McTominay and Garner is just sort of deeper too. Hopeful McTominay can be back in there and start the game. Then because of his good performance last time against Derby, I've gone Pellistri, I've gone Pereira, who came on as substitute.
Yes.
I was torn between Pereira and Lingard. Both came on as sub.
Yeah.
I went with Pereira just because he's a bit of a sort of pre-season wonder kid, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then Chong again on the left-hand side, and then Greenwood up front by himself. Again, this could be altered into being a sort of 4-3-3 with Pereira dropping in a little bit alongside McTominay and Garner. I think Greenwood, for me, pretty much needs to play all these pre-season games. Certainly play a big part in them all, because I know Cavani's going to be around, but he's just been at another major tournament as a 34-year-old now. Mason Greenwood hasn't done anything this summer. I mean, obviously he's been doing stuff, but what I mean, didn't go to the Euros with England. Now's his time where he can really go, I'm starting that first game.
Yeah. 100%.
So I think he's got to start that tomorrow.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. As always,
What
get
you
involved in
gone
the
for?
comments. What have I gone for?
Yes.
I've gone for Lee Grant in goal. Right back, I've gone Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Axel Tuanzebe, Ted Menge, and on the left, I've gone with Brandon Williams.
Very nice.
Can I just say as well, these teams are going to be heavily substituted no matter what happens.
Yeah.
He changed everyone, didn't he, at half time? So it's not
And then
the
made
be-all and
another
end-all.
4 subs 60 minutes in.
So it's not a be-all and end-all. I've gone for 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Because talking there, this is what he wants to make his new thing. So in the deep lying midfield role, I've gone with Andreas Pereira. Alongside him, I've gone with Donny van der Beek.
Yeah.
And James Garner. Slightly forward, James Garner, because some people think, he's a DM, but he's actually a bit more box to box, I feel.
Lovely.
I think he can play deep, but we'll wait and see anyway. And the front three, I've gone with Mason Greenwood down the middle, like yourself. I've gone with Anthony Elanga on the right and Facundo Pellistri on the left.
Okay.
If I'm getting that the right way round.
Probably not, but
Probably not, but we'll see.
That's your front three.
Yeah, that's my front three. So a mixture of youth and a bit more youth, really.
Yeah. A lot of youth. Mixture of youth and youth.
Yeah. And Lee Grant.
Youth squared.
But listen, Lingard's going to play a part.
Yeah.
What matter is he about? Is he knocking about? He's going to be involved in it. Tom Eaton likes a game, doesn't he, nowadays?
He does, seems to.
Yeah,
United's first choice goalkeeper, according to Adam McCullough.
There is that
Do you know what? He's going to play one Carling Cup game for United. He's going to start it, Tom Eaton, and Adam McCullough walking like, told you lads, isn't our first choice. Yeah, we're against like Tranmere away. Of course he's playing one game. He's our third choice keeper.
Nothing fills your keepers with confidence like bringing in Tom Eaton from Villa Reserves and making him your number one. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
So we'll see whether Mac is right on that one. I have my doubts. Moving on to QPR, Queen's Park Rangers, Loftus Road and all that.
Ruben Loftus Road.
Yes, nice. Our record against them is amazing.
Unanimous.
Yes, we tend to beat them all the time. Although I do remember, and you'll probably remember
City,
this.
and we still hate him for it.
Yes, well, there's that.
Yeah.
Imagine cheering your own team getting beat. Pathetic.
I mean, but genuinely pathetic.
Yeah, genuinely like one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
If you cast your mind back, Joe, to I think it was New Year's Day 1992.
Right. Well, at that point, I was egging mum, sperming dad.
So what you're trying to tell me is like a typical Johnny come lately. You weren't at the game.
I wasn't, no.
You're pathetic. Again, you're worse than the QPR fans. Dennis Bailey got a hat-trick. QPR beat United 4-1, and that put a right dampener on things.
And I'm going to ask you this question, Jay.
Yes.
Do you think that will have any bearing on this game?
And I think that is the sort of...
Some 29 years ago.
That's the sort of memory and the form that you look at going into this pre-season friendly 29 years later, whatever it is.
Like, do you know there's some
what I mean?
some animals where like the mother will eat some berries or something and it'll be poisonous.
Yeah.
Not enough to kill it, but to, we don't go near that bush. And then if they have a child, even if it's separated from the mum, it knows not to go near that bush.
Yeah.
You're saying these QPR players, even though some of them, most of them, weren't even born when that game took place, they have it ingrained in them in some sort of genetic sort of sequencing passed down through the kit They will beat us because of that memory.
I think it works both ways. I think if United concede a goal, in our memory is going to be, in the thoughts of someone like Anthony Elanga, it's going to be, this is going to be another 4-1, like the night.
And he'll go, and then someone will go, what 4-1? He'll say, I don't know.
The one with Dennis Bailey, when he got a hat-trick and went in the United dressing room asking other players to sign it. The absolute front of the man.
When you say sign it, is...
No, not...
His Todger. Right. No.
He's match ball.
I'll stretch it out, you get a bit more surface area.
Yeah.
He's match balls.
Yes, he's match balls.
Okay, interesting.
This is taking a turn for the disgusting.
It has.
Listen, I'm sure QPR have got lots of very exciting and talented players that we could analyse and act like we know about because we've done a bit of a Google, but we're not going to bother because we don't know who's going to play. And to be honest with you, does anyone really care?
We'll face it, we're being a bit disrespectful to QPR, but... sometimes you got to do that.
They should have thought about that before they rolled over and let bloody
before
Aguero get that
tough
goal.
Man Joey Barton decided to give someone a knee, a little crappy dead leg.
Yeah.
What even if you're gonna be an hard man, punch him or boot him. Oh, I'm just giving him a little knee because I'm so hard that I bet on myself to win football matches. Piss off.
Just a horrible, horrible person, isn't it?
And a scholar. When he puts his glasses on and makes people call him Joseph. And all of a sudden
a cunning linguist. He speaks fluent French, as we've all seen from that press conference.
Fringlish. What he was doing.
Just the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. It's worse than Steve McLaren's Dutch. Right, with all that in mind, we've analysed this quite in-depthly, going back to the Dennis Bailey hat-trick. And the current fact we've not really know anyone of the
You won't see me
QPR
walking
players.
out of this room with no knowledge of that QPR game, Jay.
Thank you. What do you think the score will be?
It's always tough, isn't it? I think we'll concede because it's pre-season. No one wants to get injured. No one really wants to track back.
No.
I think we'll get another comfortable win. I think 3-1.
3-1. Interesting. I think this is going to be a bit tougher than Derby. No disrespect to Wayne Rooney and Derby County because I do love Wazza. But he's got hardly any team. He's got hardly any players. And I think it was quite easy for United because of that fact. There's only like a couple of players who were actually up for it. He could rely on, not say up for it, but he could rely on. I think a lot of it was sort of he'd had to stick a team together almost. So I think this might be a little bit tougher. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I could see something like that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those because you're going to make so many changes.
Yeah.
QPR, obviously, it's Manchester United, so they're always going to be sort of right. Let's sort of prove a point here. We're going to make loads of changes. Yes, we've got the more talented players, but when you sort of swapping and chopping and changing your team to the point where you bring on 11 subs, then you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, I hope we win and I hope I'm wrong, but we'll wait and see. So 2-2, you went 3-1.
Yep.
Get involved in the comments. Let us know what your score predictions are. And also, we are going to be asking for your score predictions for the games moving forward, going into the new season. As always, you can send your score predictions into
paddockmatchday@gmail.com.
Yes.
But that's for the start of the Premier League season. Not
That's for the start of the Premier League season, but just be mindful because this is your channel. So we're going to be back at the games chatting to you lot. And we want you lot to send us your predictions as well because me and him are lazy and the less work we have to do, the better. So the more you do, the easier it is for us. Joe, where can people find you?
Joe Smith93 on Twitter and Instagram, please.
Yep, you know where to find me, Jay Motti. Make sure you're checking out all the other videos we've got. Check us out on Twitch. We're going to have some more Twitch content coming up. And don't as well forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell on the subscription. This has been Stretford Paddock QPR Preview. Thanks for watching.